Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dana, aka Blondie Knots here on YouTube, and we are in our final crochet and chat of Halloween. This is kind of the bonus week video. So you can see here, I feel weird because I'm on a couch today. I'm actually rearranging my craft room entirely, and so I put the couch against my typical filming wall, and just due to the lighting, this is the angle I need right now. It's like really cloudy out today, so I'm kind of in this weird spot and it looks a little blank, but we're gonna fill this all in, so don't worry. But yeah, I feel weird sitting on the couch. Anyway, today we are Miss Lottie from Princess and the Frog. Hopefully you kind of got that from the intro, but yes, this is my final costume of this year. I was so inspired to dress up as her after I watched a girl, I can't remember, I think her name's like Crescent Shay or something. I don't know, I'll put the little video here though. She made Lottie's dress as a Halloween costume like a couple years ago, and for some reason it just got recommended on my For You page, and I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to dress up as her too. So here we are. I just couldn't resist this costume. This is probably the best quality of the costumes I have gotten yet. These shoulder pads are so ridiculous. The dress is like super long. The bow is cute on this. So honestly, this costume was totally worth it in the end. And of course we have our little tiara here, again all my own hair. How do we think about this look? I feel like this looks very similar to Lottie. I will pop a picture of her here in case you're not familiar with the movie Princess and the Frog. It's a newer Disney movie. I mean, not really newer, but newer than if you are around my age and grew up with Disney. This wasn't a movie we grew up with, but it did come out later, and this is actually one of the newer Disney movies that I actually really enjoy. A lot of them I honestly don't like. Hot take, I know, but I'm a Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty stan, and that's about it. So Princess and the Frog was such an incredible movie, and I thought it was so cute, and yeah, I just really wanted to be here. My little thing is falling back here, but I'm also kind of giving like toddlers and tiaras. I feel like, even though I'm not a toddler, I feel like this is exactly what they look like, and or a gypsy bride. Let me know what you think, but it's kind of giving right along those lines. It also came with these like little puffy things in the side so that your dress really flows out, and I wish I had this for my Marie Antoinette dress, but yeah, you can see I'm just like swimming in dress over here, but we love that. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. I just wanted to explain who I was this week in case you were confused. Let's just hop right into the video. I don't really have a talking plan going into this video. I'm back on this project. I haven't made any progress since I spoke with you last. I have a lot of other whips going on, and so this is my easiest one to work on right now while I'm talking to you. For this week's video, I just posted on Instagram. Again, if you want to follow me over there, I'm Blondie Knots over there as well. I asked you guys what else you want to talk about in this video because, like I said, we kind of went through all the major questions I got asked on my original post, asking what you guys want to talk about in these. But someone did ask me how many whips I have going on right now. Right now, I actually have the most whips that I like to have. I know this is crazy, but I try to just have one at a time and just work on that project till it's done. Right now though, I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 is not that bad. So I have this week's video coming out to you on Monday. I'm working on that, obviously. I'm working on this cardigan, and then I am working on a knitting project actually for Knitting Fever. Is a company I work with a lot. I've told you guys about them if you've been here a while, but one of my work projects for them is a knitting pattern, so I'm working on that too, and I was going to show you that piece because it's really fun and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, but it's not crochet, 1, and number 2, I don't know that I can knit and talk at the same time. I'm very new to knitting, so I'm still like kind of getting the hang of it. So I brought the old trusty project, and we'll see how much of it I get done again. You know, last time I told you I didn't get a lot done at all, but that's okay because the main goal in this video is just to sit here and chat with you guys and have a good time. So if you haven't been to these before, literally all you got to do is sit back, relax, listen to me gab away, and we're just gonna go over some questions you guys left me on Instagram that you guys want to talk about, business, life related, all the things. Okay, the camera battery died, so I had to go get the charger, but I guess we are ready to start jumping into questions, so let me pull them up. I know for sure one person asked if I have started the community project yet, and I indeed have. I was going to show you some progress, but I don't want to spoil it because that is Monday's video actually, is the community project. So look forward to that because it was such a fun video. I think I say a bunch in the video, like this is the most fun I have had making a video in a really long time because it's just been a blast. It's so fun to examine all your guys' squares up close, and yeah, I'm just loving every second of it. So yes, I am working on the community project part 1. We have so many squares that there's going to be multiple parts probably of projects to make, but yeah, part 1 will be coming out on Monday, which is very, very exciting for both you and me. A lot of people asked too what I did before I started my crochet business for my full-time job, and also how I met my husband. So I will link a video right here. This is a Q&A I filmed when I originally moved to this house. As I was packing up my office, I did a Q&A over there. So all of those questions you can find answers to there. So I will link that video if you're new here and you probably haven't seen that video yet. I did answer all of those there. Someone asked me too, things I did / used when I first started crocheting that I don't use or do anymore, which is a very interesting question. I would say not a lot has changed in the sense of what I use to crochet with. I mean, these hooks I'm using right now, this hook I'm using is literally one of the first hooks I got. My husband got me a pack of hooks when I started crocheting off of Etsy. He ordered them, and I have my little Susan Bates grip hook on here. If you've been here a while, I absolutely love these. I need these on my hooks now. I didn't have these in the beginning, so definitely would say that just using a regular aluminum hook or a metal hook by itself, I don't do that anymore. That's definitely something I didn't care about in the beginning, was an ergonomic hook, but I also don't think I thought I was going to get as into it as I am now, of course. So yeah, that is something I don't do anymore. Another thing I don't do is really work with Red Heart Super Saver yarn. That was my go-to yarn in the beginning of my crochet journey, and I never buy it anymore unless no other brand has any color even kind of similar to what I like, then I do buy it. But other than that, Red Heart Super Saver I never ever buy anymore. And also plastic crochet hooks. I absolutely never buy plastic or resin crochet hooks. I absolutely hate them. I don't know. They don't glide for me. They break easily. Oh, and on the topic of plastic too, plastic darning needles, I don't like those anymore either. I used to love them because they were like cute colored and stuff, and I wish the metal ones came in colors, but yeah, I only exclusively buy metal ones anymore just because I have broken so many, and I like the metal ones too because they tend to have a smaller side of them where you thread your needle through. It doesn't seem to be as big, and so it slides through my smaller projects a lot easier. I know you can buy ones with bigger ends on them, but I usually buy the small ones. So that is probably the only difference in my crochet journey now from when I started, were those little things. Everything else feels really pretty much the same. I didn't buy a lot of stuff to get started because before crochet, I was someone who switched my hobbies around a lot, I'll be honest. I would paint, I would draw, I would do this, do that. I was always trying something new, and so I figured crochet was going to be a phase for me. It obviously wasn't. It's completely stuck with me, so now I've really invested and bought things more as I went along, but I tried not to buy any of the kitschy stuff in the beginning or the real novelty stuff because I really didn't think it was going to be something that lasted for me. It is my literal job and income now, so yeah. I do buy all the crochet things now, but honestly, even still now, I really try to not buy the the super like maybe trendy new stuff. I don't know, I don't really need a lot of that stuff. I feel like I have a lot of stuff I need, so the only thing I will say that I probably, okay, can't get into this stitch, there we go. The only thing I'll say I probably buy more than I really need to is scissors. I don't know why I love buying a bunch of different scissors. I'm also always misplacing them or never have them when I need them, so I do like buying cute, fun scissors. I will say that. Everything else I really stay away from. I didn't even have cute, fun stitch markers until the community project, and you guys all sent me such beautiful stitch markers, which I absolutely love using that I have them, but I can't say it was something I would buy for myself. So I think those were just the best gift. you know, any gift that you wouldn't buy yourself but would want, I think is a wonderful gift. So yeah, I love all my cutesy little stitch markers I got from you guys, and now I can't imagine not using them. But before, when I didn't have them, I would not have gone out and bought them, just because I would have felt like guilty almost for spending money on things like stitch markers when I have so many of those ugly little plastic ones. But it is important to, I think, to buy stuff that makes you excited about crocheting, especially someone asked how I deal with burnout or slumps. Honestly, a great thing to do is invest a little bit into your hobby, into your business. So it's the same thing for me when I'm having like a working out burnout. I will go buy a new cute gym outfit. I will buy something gym related to get me excited about working out again, and I will do the same thing for my crochet business. So if I'm in a inspirational rut, especially trying to create things or whatever, and I just can't get excited about anything, any project, none of my yarn is inspiring me, go buy yourself like a special skein, hank of yarn, cake of yarn, whatever that maybe you've been really eyeing up, or a fancy new crochet hook, maybe some stitch markers, anything to get you excited about it again and get your mind moving if you can afford to. You can even do it on a pretty low budget. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be any little thing to get you excited about crafting again. I think that's a great thing. Another thing, like right now I'm rearranging my room. I don't necessarily think it's an inspiration thing for me, but sometimes you do have to switch up your space a little bit and change things up. Maybe try to learn, if you're a crocheter, try to learn a very simple, easy knit project. It could be fun and help kind of jog your inspiration again to do something a little bit different. Maybe you're just getting bored with what you're doing, which totally makes sense. But honestly, I will say I haven't dealt with a lot of crochet burnout, just because switching my projects is enough for me to feel like I'm doing something different every time, because I'll go from a wearable to a tapestry and back and forth. Every now and then I sprinkle in an amigurumi, and by the time I'm done with that, I'm already excited about my next wearable. And then seasonal change helps me get really inspired too. So every time the season changes, I get inspired to make something new and exciting wearable wise for that season. So I don't deal luckily with a lot of crochet burnout, but I do have burnout in other spots in my life too, that I do try to re-excite myself about whatever it is I'm feeling slumped on right now. For me, it's a cooking slump. I'm really not inspired to make a whole lot of things, which is strange because I feel like fall will typically inspire you to want to make cozy recipes and stuff, and I'm just having a hard time with that. So I would say I'm definitely am and have been in a cooking burnout for quite a while. I still cook every night of the week, except for one night. We do DoorDash at least one night a week, I will admit that, but I do cook the other 6 days a week, and so I am doing it. I'm just not inspired or excited to get into the kitchen and do it. So I guess that's where I'm having burnout right now, and so I'm trying to be on Pinterest, getting inspired that way. That's another great way to get inspired, is being on Pinterest and looking up some new ideas, or maybe even going through your, you know, projects you want to make. A lot of times I always hear people have 1,000 projects that they want to make, and I think you can get, you know, decision fatigue from that too. So maybe go through, make a top 3, see what you have the yarn for, or if you want to go buy yourself the yarn to make it, and just start there instead of looking at a group of like 50 projects and getting so overwhelmed. I get very overwhelmed that way. I like to make a list, have them there in order of importance to me or excitement level to me, and then I'll just work down it that way. Even if one of those is a whip and it's not on your top of your list, put it away and do it later. There might be a reason it became an abandoned whip, and you're never going to want to do it if you're forcing yourself to do it. So put it away for a while. You might come back to it, you might not. We've all had abandoned whips that have gone many a year without being touched, but yeah, I would honestly say that's probably the best idea, especially if you have a lot of projects running through your head that you want to make and you just don't know where to start. I definitely would recommend you make a list of importance, what you feel like you really, really want to make right now, and just work your way down that way. That's the best way I think that you could attack the feelings of burnout or even overwhelm when it comes to project creating or just creating in general. Okay, so let's see what else you guys are asking me here. Oh, here's a tapestry question. How do you make longer dowels? Benefits of Stitch Fiddle Premium, and how do you begin your own pattern? Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Longer dowels, you just have to go to Joann's. They have, or Michael's. I saw them at Michael's the other day too. You can buy longer dowels there and then cut them down to size, whichever size you need. Just don't buy them in the plastic packs. They come in like singular long wooden, whatever you'd call that, stick. Wooden stick, I guess you could say. But yeah, they'll come in just a long wooden stick and you can get a really long length there, probably longer than anything you'd ever need. So Joann's or Michael's, in the unfinished wood section, you'll find everything you need there. Benefits of Stitch Fiddle Premium. Honestly, to me, the biggest benefit is for me, because I am a pattern designer, I need Stitch Fiddle Premium to make the patterns I want to make and be able to get my written instruction and things like that. But if you are just a casual user, you probably don't need it. I had many a year where I didn't use Stitch Fiddle Premium. Actually, this is my first year using it ever of all the years I've made tapestries. So it's definitely not a mandatory thing to have if you are making tapestries, but just personally, I like them as a pattern designer. It seems like it's much more of a necessity for me in my business. It's also $35 a year, I think, something like that, and you just pay it annually. And so for me, I feel like it's worth it for all the extra benefits I get of seeing the written pattern. And oh gosh, I don't even know if I know all the premium aspects of it. I think I'd really have to look into it. I just knew that there was a lot of stuff I was trying to do that I couldn't do without premium, so I did upgrade it and do it. But yeah, if you're just a casual user, I don't think it's necessary. You can still access patterns and stuff like that off of Stitch Fiddle with no problems. And then how do you begin your own pattern? I don't even know that I could answer that question in a simple sentence. Pattern design is so difficult. It really is. You have to have an original idea, which can be so challenging sometimes. You get paranoid because there's so many patterns out there and you don't want anything to look too similar to someone else's, even if maybe you constructed it in a whole different way. It's so challenging. Pattern design, I think, is just something that comes as you progress in your crochet career. If it's something you're really passionate about getting into, I'd probably recommend looking up some videos on how to really get into pattern design. I don't really know that I have an answer for you. I just literally get out my notebook and start drawing things I want to make and then writing what I'm doing as I go, and then just revise until I have a pattern, and then I put it onto a template where I can make it look pretty and stuff. But it's a whole process that probably has to be its own entire video of me talking about it if that's something you guys would be interested in. But it's a lot. It's very overwhelming, and it's definitely not something I can answer quickly, but I'm sure there are also some other good videos. But if that's something you guys would be interested in me talking about more, is getting into how I write patterns, let me know in the comments, and it's something I could definitely look into doing, some kind of video I could look into doing with you guys. That could be kind of fun and informational as well. Somebody asked, what is my favorite TV show to watch while I'm crocheting? It varies on different times of the day. So in the morning, I like to watch YouTube. Exclusively, I always watch YouTube in the mornings. Then if I'm crocheting in the middle of the day, I know this is weird, but I either will watch one of two things. I watch Jerry Springer or I watch Forensic Files, and there's literally no in between. Don't ask me why. I literally don't know, but that's just how my brain works. From like 12 to 3 p.m. that's what's on my TV if I'm working at that time on a project. And then anything after dinner is really any streaming service. That's when I watch my trash reality. So I will watch 90 Day Fiance then. I'll watch 1,000 Pound Sisters. I will watch really any of that garbage. Sister Wives, all those shows, I watch those in the nighttime. I literally don't know why, but my brain just associates those time slots with being the coziest time to watch those shows. So that is just what I do. Middle of the day too, I can also watch a true crime documentary, or I will sometimes watch Kendall Rae on YouTube. I love her true crime podcast as well. Lights Out is her husband. I'll listen to his sometimes too. Honestly, in the middle of the day, I just like to listen to people's voices more than I really watch. So like Jerry Springer's voice, I guess I just like it. Forensic Files, that guy who does all the speaking, I love his voice. It's so soothing to me for some reason. So, and I find Forensic Files very interesting. So I watched that. That's just a comfort show from being a kid. I don't know how. I know it's a true crime show. I get it. It's not comforting at all, but it's just one of those shows that I've just always watched. Let me know though if any of you guys are like this too, because my husband's actually the same way about stuff. Like he has certain hours he watches YouTube and then certain hours where he doesn't. And I wonder if you guys are the same or if we're just insane like that, but I would love to know that. So let me know in the comments if you guys have times like that too. I am never listening to music actually unless I'm driving. Driving is the only time, or working out. Those are the only times I listen to music. I never sit in my office and edit or work with just music on for some reason. I think because I listen to so much of the same music, I get so over it and so annoyed that I don't know, I only listen to it when I'm kind of focusing on something else, like, you know, my workout or driving, and I'm just having it on just has more noise than anything else, I guess. Speaking of music, like super small tangent, I just wanted to say that I am so obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter right now. I don't know if you guys like her, but I didn't even really listen to her music at all before she went on this tour, and she is all over my TikTok in her adorable tour outfits, and I'm just so obsessed. I love seeing all the new like color unlock, and she's wearing a different color at all of her shows, and they're all these beautiful sparkly bright colors, and she looks incredible in everything. Like I literally think she is one of the most beautiful people ever, and she is just so freaking cute, and so I am like obsessed with her music now. So that's actually been my newest music genre, I guess, is pop. I don't usually listen to pop, but I've been listening to so much of her music lately, and I just really honestly like it. So that's a very weird tangent, but yeah, she is, I guess, someone who kind of just came out of the woodworks for me, and I really like her. That's been fun to like have a little bit of variety in my music, but yeah, anyway, that was just something I wanted to mention. Anyways, that is enough about that because literally nobody asked. Something I would love to hear about is how you grew your audience on Instagram. By the way, this tiara is squeezing my head into oblivion. Like it is so tight on my head. Oh my goodness. Let me just try to move it around a little bit. Whew, move it to the back of my head just a touch. Okay, I think that will work. So let's see, something I would love to, oh yes, growing my audience. Biggest tip for growing audience on Instagram, and this is what I did, and probably the only thing I would recommend you doing, is make reels as often as possible using the trendy audios. Whatever you want to do for that, if whether it's like working through a project to one of the trendy audios or just making it crochet related, getting creative like that, that is probably the biggest way I saw growth. I was doing years of just posting pictures and really was like capping at maybe 60 likes. If I had a really good post, I would get like 60 likes on a picture. And then I made one stupid little audio one, and I think I got maybe like 125 likes or something on it. I was like, I'm gonna stick with this. So as many times a week as you can upload in the weekdays, like so either 5 days a week or even just try for 3. I know that is so much uploading if you're not someone who this is your job, but if you can just set aside a little bit of time to make 3 reels a week of trendy sounds, you are going to see a lot of growth on your page. I think personally, posting very often, not letting my page kind of go abandoned for a while. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I will say Instagram posting is a lot of work, but definitely if you're really striving for growth, try to hit those very trendy audios. It'll progress and lead to follows the more and more you do it. So that is definitely my biggest piece of advice. I could not recommend anything more than that. That's what worked for me. And the more followers you start to get, it just kind of starts to snowball and it'll just work itself out. So don't worry so much about getting the followers as you're worrying about producing the good content. Worry about your content, worry about getting enough videos out a week, and you will see the growth come later. So just focus on that. Don't focus on getting the followers because you'll probably just burn out doing that. Do things that you find exciting and fun, and then you'll see the growth after. Let's see. Will you do any future tutorial videos? Oh gosh, yes, I am really hemming and hawing about doing a video on that granny square top I wore that I showed you guys that I made of wool. A lot of people asked, and I thought there would be a lot of videos out there about that, but I didn't look it up, and maybe there's not, and maybe also you guys just like the way I explain things, which thank you, it's very flattering. So I'm thinking about making a granny square top tutorial. If you're interested in that, please let me know, because I would like to know if there's a larger group of you that would be interested in me talking you through a granny square wearable. And also I can show you some tips to kind of just use when you're making wearables in general, kind of the same way I did the Taylor Swift dress. I have some baseline things, so you can really customize it with a lot of patterns and make a wearable piece that way. So let me know if you would be interested in that, because that is something I can do. Tutorials are just a lot of work, and so I only want to make them if you guys really are interested in them. So please let me know that. I would love to hear if that's something that you would find beneficial. So let me know. I need a sip of my drink here. I literally cannot believe this. How many of you guys are asking me for a rundown of my favorite Halloween costumes through the year? I will do that last, because in case you're just here for the crochet stuff, then you can tune out at the end. I'll go through some costumes. My mom sent me a bunch of pictures of my old costumes, and they're really quite horrible. I was never a normal costume wearer through the years, so you're gonna see some pretty innovative looks, but you know, that is just me, and look at me now, you know? These are probably the most normal costumes that I could have possibly picked, just reflecting through my old costumes. So you'll see when we get there, but I will say that till the end, because I think I counted 40 people asking me for my favorite Halloween costumes, or just past Halloween costumes in general, and I can't believe it. I thought no one would care about that. So that's super fun. I can't wait to share those with you. Somebody asked, let's see here, my favorite Halloween candy. I like Sour Patch Kids, regular kids fine, but watermelon especially, and Milky Ways, and that's about it. I don't really need anything else. I used to love Milk Duds, but I definitely had some problems with my crowns getting ripped out from stuff like that, and like saltwater taffies and things. Like, I love all those. I just can't eat them anymore because I have some work done in my mouth that I would like to not come out. So I'm too scared to eat those. But Milky Way is my favorite chocolate, and Sour Patch Kids. Oh, love. Let's see, someone asked where I find markets. I did talk about that in last week's video. If you want to check that out, that's all my market stuff. I go into pretty good detail about some of those things. I definitely would recommend you check out last week's Crochet and Chat. We did talk about that. Someone said my hair. I don't know what you want to know about my hair. I do my own hair, and I also color my own hair, and I just bleach it. I do highlights, and that's it. And I cut it like once a year, maybe. I don't know, every now and then. Sometimes I do a bang, sometimes no, but that's about it. I'm not sure exactly what you wanted to know about my hair. Let me see. At what point did I know I had to leave my job and focus on my business? That is such a good question. Honestly, probably the fact that I started to come home so angry every single day from my job. It was doing nothing for me except for causing me immense amount of anger and stress, and no other job seemed like a job that I wanted or cared about. I know no one really likes to work, I get that, but there was nothing I was even remotely excited about thinking about. This crochet business was getting to a point with me where I could not think about anything else. It was literally consuming every thought in my head. Was I need to make this my business because this is literally all I care about doing. I think I actually talk about this too in that Q&A, so I'll just briefly go into it, but I am lucky enough that my husband did support me in leaving my job and just focusing on my crochet business full-time. So I think I get way more into that in that video. So if you're more interested in knowing even more about that, you can go over there to that video. But yeah, I had luckily the support from my husband, financially and emotionally. It was probably one of the scariest things I ever did, but I knew that I could always go back to what I was doing before if it didn't work out, but I never would have known what would have happened to me if I didn't do it. So if you're having that feeling where it's almost intoxicating and you can't think about anything else but starting your crochet business, I think you're probably in the same spot where you are ready to start it. And I would just really recommend diving in head first if you can. even if you have to be working and doing it at the same time, just do as much as you can so that you can get to doing it full time as quick as possible. Let me see. A lot of winter project questions, which I'm going to make a winter project plan video, so that'll come out pretty soon here since we're getting into the really colder months. So look out for that. I will put a video together there with all my links and all that good stuff. So I'm excited for that. And let's see. Do I get frustrated at some points in my crochet business? You're always so happy. Yes. I mean, I do and I don't. It's funny because I get frustrated sometimes at projects when they don't go my way, but literally at the end of the day, I will sometimes think about like my worst day as a crochet business owner is so much better than my best day at work when I used to go to work. So I just try to think of it like that whenever I'm like really getting frustrated, maybe in my business or something. And I just think about how lucky I am that this is my job. Like I'm literally working right now. What is this? How did I get so lucky? And so I can honestly say, no, I really don't get overall frustrated with my business or with crochet in general, just because I feel so lucky that this is my job and I literally cannot imagine doing anything else. So I guess no, I don't really get frustrated, which I do have my days, and like certainly some editing days I get a little bit more annoyed, but overall, like I said, my worst day here is so much better than my best day at work. Someone asked me what the pros and cons of being a small crochet business owner are. The pros is I'm the boss. What I say goes. I can work very flexible hours. I can work whatever I want, wherever I want, really, I guess. And the cons are also that I am my own boss and I can work whenever and wherever I want, because that does lead to a lot of me working all the time. Honestly, I at least work 6 days a week every week. I try to take a day off and then usually I end up doing something for work anyway, because I work from home, my business is home, and so I'll see something and be like, well, I could do that really quick. Well, I can make a thumbnail really quick even though I'm supposed to be off today. It's very hard for me to still break apart work and my life. I have talked to you guys about this before, that my work-life balance is so bad. It's still so bad. I haven't got a lot better at it. I do try to take like Monday, which is my upload days, and I really try to not work on Mondays as best I can and do all my grocery shopping, getting reorganized, getting set up for the week. I make my plans for the week, filming wise, all that stuff. But sometimes, you know, work does trickle in. I end up answering comments on Mondays when I really am trying not to do that, but I get excited to talk to you guys in the comments. So yeah, I don't know. I'm doing my best, but that's probably the biggest con, honestly, to owning my own business, is that I literally am always working 100% of the time, and I'm always trying to think of how I could be working harder or better to get maybe more of a result that I want, or maybe to do something in a different way. So yeah, that's probably the biggest con. I really genuinely just love my job so much that I don't see a lot of the cons. Even working all the time is not really a con to me because I love working, but it is definitely something I know I need to prioritize more, is working less. Just a little bit less maybe. Oh, let me do this question really too very, very fast, because I think I could give maybe a little bit of advice with this, and then the rest of these I just give such a long answer that I don't think we have the time for. Thank you also if you left me a suggestion for topics to speak on, because I really needed some ideas and I have so many here from you guys. So maybe I can filter these into future crochet and chats. I'm gonna crochet this time while I answer this question, but any tips for softening acrylic yarns or wearables? I started with Red Heart, but it's not the comfiest. Correct. Biggest advice for softening up your acrylic yarns that I do and I think works really great for me is I steam block them after I make my project. It tends to really soften up the acrylic yarn a lot. So if you have a little portable handheld steamer, or a clothes steamer I'm talking about, or if you have a large one, I have a large one, but you can get a small handheld one too on Amazon for I think like 20 bucks. Very inexpensive. But if you steam block whatever you made afterward, it will really help soften up that acrylic yarn, because I know it's so scratchy and so terrible. So yeah, that is probably my best advice with any scratchy yarns. Steam block that baby and it'll probably work itself out to at least be a little bit better, you know, a little softer, and just be a little less structured too. So I would give that a shot. That's always what I do. And I think with that, we will close out the crochet portion of this video. So if you don't want to continue watching some of my favorite Halloween costumes through the years, no problem, totally get it. I will see you on Monday with another new video. We have a super fun, exciting video. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, I'd love to have you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like the video for me. Have a great, safe Halloween. But if you want to stick around and have a laugh at some of these ridiculous costumes, I'm glad you stayed. So let's get into those really quickly here. I gotta pull up my phone for them so I can really see. I'm going to start with the best costume that I have to show you, because this is that Igor costume. I told you guys I was Igor the year that I couldn't get the Marie Antoinette wig. So this is how the costume ended up coming out. I don't know if this is what you were expecting, but this is what I got for you. So yeah, the year I was Igor instead of Marie Antoinette, because you know that's always your second when you can't be Marie Antoinette. This is what I looked like. I'm probably 14 in this photo, so old enough to know better. Why am I looking like this? But yeah, I had such a blast with this costume. I stayed in character, hunched over like that freaking all night. So yeah, and I was like super hunched. I think I was already, yeah, I had to be. I was already my height that I am now. So I am so hunched and slouched over, and I stayed like this all night just to be in character. So I really wanted to show you guys that so you could have a little bit of a laugh at me from my younger days when I really thought I was doing the most. So that is number one. That is super fun. Another one I wanted to show you guys was this one, and this was the year I told you guys me and my friends dressed up as Christmas carolers. So here is that picture of us all dressed up. These are on the internet, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind me sharing these. But yeah, you can see we have the holiday cards that we were reading our carols off of. Yeah, this is us. That's me in the corner there. So yeah, moment of silence. I had a couple very rough years, guys, but yeah, that's me. And how many of us are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so this was a group of 8 this year. I would show the ones where we were nuns. I just don't think I can, because we have some fake airsoft guns in these pictures, but I don't want them to get this video demonetized or anything. I won't be sharing those. But let's see here. What else can I show you? This year, I'll zoom in on this one to block everyone else out, but I was a nerd. Nerd costumes were really big when I was, how old did I have to be in the 4th grade? 10? Are you 10 in 4th grade? Something right along there. Everyone was a nerd for some reason, so I got this entire outfit at Goodwill. I got that top hat thing though, that I'm wearing over my head, that half mask. That I got at Spirit, and I was obsessed with this costume. All my friends were obsessed with this costume. It was a good one, honestly. But like, this is the kind of crap where I look at this and then I look at what kids are dressed up in now, and I'm like, we're not the same. We'll never be the same. Like, what is this? I don't know. This is wild. But that was another banger costume for me, for sure. I had a lot of years where I was just these random witch people with long hair. I literally don't know. One year I had my face painted white, and I think I was a vampire that year. I literally don't know, guys, but I dressed up as a lot of weird stuff. I did weird makeup things. Look at this. Like, what am I doing? I don't know. I was super into special effects too, so that's probably where that came from. Me and my brother did the Grim Reaper one year. You can see us there when we were super little. And then this one I wanted to show you. My mom said I could share this, so I will, because it's absolutely hilarious. But this year, you can see we're bringing the princess vibes back. So I was Snow White, apparently, which I didn't know. I always was in the Snow White costume, which is interesting because Cinderella was my favorite, and I actually should have done Cinderella in one of my videos this year for Crochet and Chat, but I just didn't get around to it. You know, we had some other priorities to get on our list first, but yeah, so I was Snow White, and so my mom was the evil queen, and she absolutely slayed this costume. She looked just like her, and even being this young, I literally remember her in that costume, and my brother or I literally don't remember who it was. I think it was my brother because he's 2 years younger than me, was actually scared of her. I do remember one year too, she did Cruella de Vil and she killed that costume too, and I was a little bit scared of her because she looked so much like her. And Cruella de Vil is easily and arguably one of the scariest Disney villains in my opinion, honestly. So yeah, my mom was really good at these like crazy evil Disney villains. She just had the perfect look. She always had, her costume was on point. And so this year she was the evil witch, and she took us to our preschool party dressed up as this for the entire party in front of all the other kids who did not subject themselves to the evil queen. So that's pretty hilarious. We laugh about that pretty often, and she did tell me I could share this. So so yeah, this is literally just one of the most absolutely hilarious costumes and one of the most hilarious pictures I think we have. And then in my older years, you know, I did all the like regular trendy girly costumes. Once I was in high school, I didn't really do the fun, you know, creative stuff anymore. So that's really all I have to share with you guys. I think I embarrassed myself enough for one video going through basically my old photo album with you. I hope you enjoyed that. I know so many of you wanted to see that, so I hope you were entertained at least. I hope you enjoyed this week's costume and this week's added crochet and chat. Again, it feels so weird to be on this couch. I hope you guys will enjoy what I'm doing with the room though. I'm really trying to up my filming setup a little bit more as I continue to try to make my videos better for you guys every single week. I'm always trying to make your viewing experience the absolute best, and I'm just so appreciative of you being here. As I say every week, I love you so much. I made, what is this? Did I turn my work once? 1.5 rows I made of progress. I hope you made more progress than me. I feel like this video is a longer chatty one, but I know the real ones, you guys love being here for them, and I love having you here. So lucky to have you. Again, this job is a blessing. It's an honor to be here with you. Thank you so much for letting me take up a little bit of your time here on the internet today. Have a happy Halloween tomorrow. If you're going trick-or-treating with your kids, or you're going to a Halloween party, or you're passing out candy, be safe, have a good time, enjoy your day, enjoy any parties you have, and I will see you guys on Monday with another video, our community project. I cannot wait to show you. I'm having so much fun working on it. So I will see you in Monday's video, but I love you and I will talk to you soon. Bye!